Do you want to grab them? How's everyone doing? You know, we always have this event outside because we're worried about the weather. It's even been a perfect day coming outside. So leave the doors open, let some fresh air in. So many of you I know, and those who don't know me, my name is Kodak. I'm the Chief Giving Officer for MileOne Auto Group, and I'm pleased to welcome you here all today. As many of you know, MileOne here is giving back as a key component of our mission and vision. MileOne Cares, our philanthropic program, is committed to creating meaningful partnerships with those who are making lives better. And you'll see many people are wearing their little MileOne Cares lapel pins today just to show you how many folks really are committed to our program here. We focus our efforts in the areas of access to safe transportation. Today's event and our partnership with Vehicles for Change is just one example of the many ways that MileOne partners with nonprofits. Our work expands beyond vehicle donations, providing car seats to families in need. We actually just had an event yesterday with Bel-Air Auto Auction, giving away car seats. It was awesome. Educating new drivers about the dangers of distracted driving, and providing transportation to those who are sick are just some of the ways we are transforming lives through transportation. By the end of this year, we will have donated $2.2 million back in our communities, and that's just this year. And additionally, our MileOne Cares Community Car Seat Program provides over 250 car seats per month to families right out of this dealership. Our goal is to distribute over 3,000 car seats this year for free. We are honored to do this work in and for our communities, and we are glad you can be here today to witness the impact. So today we are here to honor some moms in honor of Mother's Day. So if you are a mom or caregiver, we honor you today. We know how hard it is to do this work. Our recipients and tell you about our program.
Good morning. On behalf of Heritage and MileOne Auto Group, I'd like to welcome all of you here to Heritage Toyota Billings Mills. I am delighted to be joined by everyone and to help us celebrate fabulous upcoming holiday of Mother's Day. Vehicles for Change is a really remarkable organization that has changed the lives of thousands of people. MileOne has donated now over 220 vehicles to their organization, and we've also hired 28 auto technicians from Vehicle for Change's Full Circle Training Program, a re-entry program for justice-involved and unemployed individuals. This partnership is about changing lives. We believe access to reliable transportation is truly transformative. We wouldn't be able to do this program without the generosity of some of our partners, Dent Wizard, who is here, and Excite. Both of these companies have donated their time and their expertise in reconditioning these cars that you see here that will be awarded today. Dent Wizard was also kind enough to provide lunch for everyone today. I would also like to take a moment and thank Flowers and Fancies, who donated all of the wonderful bouquets for our recipients. So before we announce the recipients for today's vehicles, I'd like to take a moment and introduce Marty Schwartz. Marty's the founder and president of Vehicles for Change. Marty, tell us a little bit about Vehicles for Change.
Thanks, Scott. You know, I was thinking coming out here today that we've done probably 15 or 16 of these over the last couple of years, and it just never does not get me excited to come out here and provide cars to families. We've awarded more than 8,000 cars to families in the last 26 years, and the impact of a car is really phenomenal for the families that we serve. Let me ask you a question. How many of you broke the bar this morning? Raise your hand. How many of you drove to work this morning? In the last month, how many of you took your children to some event, whether it was a sporting event, a doctor's appointment, school, whatever? How many of you took your children to an event this week? So the 8 women that are getting cars this morning have never had the luxury to do that. Think about that. How difficult would your life be if you had to figure out every single day, how would you get to work? How would you get your kids to after school or to daycare or to a doctor's appointment? Think about if your kid got sick and you had to make it a run to the hospital in an emergency. We have families every day that live in the Baltimore region. They can't do that. They can't escape generational poverty because they have no way to drive themselves out. The most important tool that we can give to a family living in poverty is an automobile. Literally, before education, before training, before any of those things, because those are useless unless you can get to the job, unless you can get your children to education and to athletic events. And that's how we get people out of generational poverty. And so Vehicles for Change has been doing this now for 26 years. And in 2016, we launched our Full Circle Auto Repair and Training Center, where we're training individuals, many of whom are coming out of incarceration, to be auto technicians. As a matter of fact, almost 20% of our graduates are hired by Scott and his team here at Heritage. So we can't thank them enough for our partnership, for giving our graduates the opportunity. Most recently, we've developed our own virtual reality auto technician training, where we can now train an individual using virtual reality to be a tire lube tech or an entry-level technician. And we're putting this in Maryland prisons, we're in departments of juvenile services, we're in dealerships, we're in workforce development programs in 7 states. And so our goal at Vehicles for Change is really to provide as much opportunity to those people in need, to give them the opportunity to gain gainful employment, to be able to drive their children out of generational poverty. And we can't do that without partners like the folks here at Heritage, and many of you who may have donated a car over the years. Car donations have become really difficult to come by in the last 2 years. We've gone from 200 a month to 70. We've gone from helping 400 families a year to helping 75. And so our goal is to get back to where we need to be. Hopefully some of you can help us with that. But with that, I'd love to invite a good friend of mine and someone who understands the need in our communities and is doing something about it. And I can tell you that I've worked with many, many secretaries in the 26 years at Vehicles for Change, secretaries in the state of Maryland. And I can tell you Secretary Lopez is one of those people who not only cares about the families that he serves in the state of Maryland, but he does something about it. And so, Secretary, thank you for being here.
Good morning, everyone. I was telling my colleague Lily this morning that in my role, I don't always get to do the fun stuff. I get to do a lot of hard stuff every day, and this is one of those moments where I need to make sure that my schedule works so that I can be here, because this isn't just about the fun stuff, it's about honoring and investing in our people. And I have the honor of serving in the Moore Miller administration on behalf of Governor Moore and Lieutenant Governor Miller. Thank you for being here today, and happy early Mother's Day to all of you. This year's budget that was just passed through the legislative session, one of the priorities of Governor Moore was to invest in our people, and we could not bring that to life more beautifully than this kind of an event. The Department of Human Services has been an honored partner of Vehicles for Change for several decades. And the reason for that is because we know that to invest in our people means to believe in their boldness and their brilliance and their beauty, because they already are born with the capacity to do extraordinary things. And for the moms that are here today, specifically Nakia Gardner, Shamia Crawford, Barajwa, Cummings Martin, Jalissa Somerville, Shantae Neal, Ayana Green, Ebony Pendergrass, and Alexis Stevens, congratulations. get yourself to work, or to take your kids to an event, to the doctor, to a game, or I said to one of the moms this morning, to do what the hell you want with your car, that's really important. And we forget that when we have to ask someone else, or wait on that Uber Lyft, but we appreciate that in our economy, we want to make sure moms are able to do what they need to do to take care of themselves and their family, because they are completely capable of already doing that. That's why partners like Vehicles for Change are so incredibly important and powerful, because they help us remove the barriers for the moms who are struggling to just get their kid to school on time. We know the science tells us and common sense tells us that getting our kids to school on time and going every single day matters immensely, showing up, reducing things like chronic absenteeism, making sure our kids are having a great day at school. And we know that our moms sacrifice so much. When I read the stories of the 8 mothers that we're honoring today, I was struck by the commonality of their investment and their sacrifice in their own families and in their own children. And I think a lot about my own mother who never learned to drive and took the public bus everywhere as she helped raise us for many years as a single mother. And the sacrifice that she modeled for us is what I was reminded of in the extraordinary and powerful stories of the moms we're honoring today. So very specifically to each of the moms that are here today, this car is not about lifting up what's not working for you. It's about lifting up the hard work and sacrifice that you have paid day in and day out, not just on behalf of your families, but on behalf of the entire state of Maryland. So on behalf of Governor Moore and our entire Miller administration, congratulations, thank you, and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you so much, Secretary Lopez, and we truly appreciate you joining us today. Thank you. Giving back to the community is important from our one order. By donating cars, we're transforming lives through our partnership with Vehicles for Change. Over the past 9 years, we've donated vehicles to veterans, frontline workers, single parents, families, frontline medical professionals. And today, this tradition continues. In honor of Mother's Day, 8 local individuals will be given the freedom to more easily get to their jobs, doctor's appointments, grocery stores, children's schools, activities, and so much more. Having reliable transportation will allow them to travel on their own schedules, therefore allowing them more time to spend with their families. Our recipients today are all hardworking people whose lives are impacted severely by their lack of access to transportation. Heritage is pleased to be providing to them with a vehicle so they can spend less time commuting and more time enjoying family and friends. Today is a reminder of the potential that all of us have to make an impact in our community, and we feel good about doing our part with our connection to Vehicles for Change. At this time, I would like to call upon Nakia Gardner, who is one of today's recipients, to please come up to the podium and tell us a bit about her journey and what this award means to her.
Good morning. I am Nakia Gardner, and I was asked to share about the experience and how it feels to be finally awarded a vehicle. I'd like to first say I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for Vehicles for Change. The fact that this is a program that actually is not ashamed to help people that need help. And when I got my letter, my report letter, I told them, I said, well, 6 to 8 months, I'll be all right. I'll save my money up and just wait. And then a day later, they're like, and you're going to pick it up next week. And I was like, what in the world? I've been renting cars. I have a rental rack. The lights don't work. I'm just like, it was just amazing. And it seemed like as I made goals, the more goals I made, the harder it was to reach them. And as soon as I got to a point where it's like, yes, I got it, then it was something else. My children, I have 5 boys, and I had to make a decision to allow my youngest son to go live with my sister because I did not have transportation, I didn't have a place for him to go, and I wasn't reliable. You wait for the bus, you're sitting there, you gotta be someplace at 3. I'm out here at 12:30 waiting for the bus to get someplace at 3, and literally it's like, I missed the bus, now I gotta wait another hour. And then the next time I was like, I'm gonna get this right. I wrote the stuff down, and I got on the bus, I got on the light rail, I didn't know that you don't pay, and you gotta have a ticket. All these things, I was like, this is a lot for a bus. I kicked, I screamed. I just was like, please send me a lifesaver or something, I cannot do this. But my endurance all paid out. And I thank you so much for your change. Toyota, MileOne, all the partners that have actually stepped up and helped. And my children were truly grateful because we can get to places and not depend on other people to do things for us. This has been a really humbling experience because having to ask someone to do things that people feel like you should already know, you don't need my help, always calling and depending on someone else. So I'm very grateful and I thank you so much.
Ms. Gardner, thank you very much for those comments, and that doesn't sum it up. That doesn't say what today is all about. Far better than I could, far better than Marty could. That's really why we do this, and why we continue to do it year after year, because it is impactful, and I think when we see the human side of it, it brings it home. So, that's good. All right. Now for what we're all here for, really the best part of it, the awards. At this time, I'd like to ask each of the 8 recipients and the key handlers to go to your assigned vehicles, and then Marty and I would like to call out the recipients. With a car, so have the opportunity to pursue a second job, return to college, attend training programs, and reconnect with family and friends. Most importantly, lifts a major burden, offering peace of mind and a clear path towards self-sufficiency. McKee looks forward to making sure our 5 children can get to school, appointments, and participate in the activities they've been missing all these years. McKee also looks forward to visiting family in Pennsylvania. Handing Ms. Gardner the keys to her car is John Holliday. John is the general manager here at Toyota Owens Mills. And John, I would like to thank you for your preparation and ensuring that all these vehicles made it to where they are today. Appreciate your help here. Okay, moving on. Baltimore City resident Shania Crawford is a hardworking mother committed to building a better life for her children. For Shania, receiving a car represents a turning point in life. With her job being located far from home and late night shifts that end around midnight, transportation has been a significant challenge. This vehicle will allow her to take her kids to school on time, get to and from work safely, and provide the stability that her family needs. Shania sees this car as a symbol of responsibility and opportunity, and she's deeply grateful for the chance to create a more consistent routine for her children's education. Her first stop with her new car will be to pick up both of her children from school, together and on time. Handing Ms. Crawford the keys to her car is Juan Hoya. Juan is the district manager for Central Atlantic Toyota. Thank you for being here, Juan. Recipient number 3. Arazwa Cummins Martin is a Baltimore City resident and a full-time working single mother, originally from New York. She's receiving a vehicle that will significantly improve her day-to-day life. Without a car, she's had to pass up opportunities both for higher income occupation, she'll finally be able to access the professional and educational paths she once had to forego, empowering both herself and her son. For Rajwa, receiving this vehicle is a much-needed upgrade, one that will support her ongoing efforts to build a better future for her family. Her first stop, taking a trip to the beach, proudly pulling into her parking spot at work. Handing Miss Cummings Martin the keys to her car is Michelle Nichols from Bel Air Auto Auction. Bel Air Auto Auction is actually been impressive people were there yesterday. Okay. Ebony Pendergrass is a devoted mother of two from Baltimore, Maryland. Reliable transportation will allow her to care for her children and pursue steady work as she continues to move forward with strength and determination. For Ebony, today is a glimpse of the brighter future that lies ahead. She hopes to show her children that even in the face of challenges, maintaining a positive outlook and staying committed can lead to life-changing progress. Her first drive will be to make sure her son has a safe and dependable ride to and from school. We're confident Ebony will enjoy many meaningful journeys ahead, creating lasting memories for her family. Presenting Ms. Pendergrass her keys today is Katrina Cumberton from MileOne Marketing Group. Thank you, Katrina.
One thing I want to point out is that this program is not a handout, it's a hand up. So our families actually pay $950 for their car. And thanks to Hartford Bank, we are now able to provide them a guaranteed loan so that they can pay for their car over time, which not only allows them to pay for that car over 12 months, but to establish credit, which is incredibly valuable part of the program and something that we really thought about carefully when we designed this program. So thank you, Hartford Bank, for being part of our program and allowing our folks to establish credit. Our next recipient is Jaleesa Somerville. She's a geriatric nursing assistant and a mother of 4 from Annapolis, Maryland. She's receiving a vehicle that will bring vital support and opportunity to her daily life. For Jaleesa, having access to a vehicle is critical for accessing flexible agency jobs, maintaining steady income. With 3 sons and a 2-year-old daughter, the car will also help Jaleesa explore better daycare options, attend appointments, and save money by expanding her access to affordable grocery stores beyond local convenience. You know, we don't think about the fact how difficult it is if you have a young child to get to a grocery store that is affordable. For Jaleesa, receiving a car symbolizes the payoff of her dedication and hard work. It marks the beginning of a new chapter filled with greater stability and independence. Her first destination may be work, but she's mostly looking forward to visiting her dad, who she hasn't seen in months due to his health and lack of transportation. This vehicle is a meaningful step towards a stronger, more connected future. Handing Ms. Somerville the keys is our own Secretary of this. Our next recipient is Shantae Neal, a single mom residing in Baltimore City with reliable transportation to work and the ability to pick up her son from school. Shantae is looking forward to being the dependable presence he deserves. The car will also allow her to explore flexible income opportunities and reduce the daily stress of getting her son where he needs to be. Her first stop she plans to make is a surprise visit to her son's school and daycare to celebrate the beginning of their new journey together. Handing Ms. Neal the keys is Annette Scavoni with Flowers and Fancies, our sponsor. Thank you. Our next recipient is Ayana Green, a Baltimore City resident. She's receiving a life-changing gift, a car that will bring freedom and opportunity for her and her 8-year-old daughter. Having a vehicle will allow Ayana to drive her daughter to school, spend more quality time together, and attend classes to pursue her goal of becoming a certified peer recovery specialist. For Ayana, this car means everything. She describes the opportunity as being blessed beyond measure and is excited for what's ahead. Her first stop will be work, but she's already dreaming of future road trips and new beginnings with her daughter by her side. Handing Miss Green the keys is Dan Bowers, Vice President of Operations for Net Wizard and the great organization that made these cars look so good. Thank you. Before our last recipient, the common theme that you see through all of these is what these moms are talking about to do for their children. It's not so much about making more money, it's about being part of their family, providing for their kids. And it's so valuable to see what they're going to be doing with their children. And our last recipient, and not least, is Alexis Stevens, a proud parent and lives in Baltimore City. For Alexis, receiving a car is more than just gaining a set of wheels. It's a life-changing opportunity that brings independence and peace of mind. Reliable transportation means shorter commutes, more job possibilities, and the ability to better support our family without the daily stress of relying on public transportation or others for rides. It also represents something deeply personal: trust, responsibility, and the freedom to explore life more fully. The first destination, a heartfelt visit to a loved one who's been through thick and thin, a meaningful first ride on a journey toward her brighter future. Presenting the keys is a friend of the program and a huge proponent of the automobile dealers in Maryland, the president of the Automobile Dealers Association, Peter Kitzmiller. Thank you, Peter. So one of our traditions at these events is always our starting the engines. So